The Sciforror Film Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Sciforror Film Podcast. He is Scott Walker and I am his father, Andy. Just thought I'd introduce it the other way around this time.
Yeah, that really confused me then, because I thought you were waiting, like, especially with the poems. I thought you were expecting me to say something, and I was like,
Hello, Scott.
hello.
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 Anyway, yeah, so everything all right?
Yeah, just in the mad rush of trying to sort out birthdays, because I'm in the middle of sorting out three. Well, no, I've just had one. I finished. I've now got to sort out another one and then prepare for another one a week later.
You're having 3 birthdays?
No, not me.
I was going to say, it's not your birthday till July.
No, I've just had my son's. Then I'm going to, this weekend, it's, well, when this goes out last weekend, it would be Amy's.
Right.
And then the weekend after that is my daughter's, and it's planned that very well.
No. Yes. Right. Should we do this review thing?
I thought that was the reason why we were here.
Well, allegedly.
Why we're here on this meeting, why we're here in the presence of being of this earth is a different story.
Too deep.
It's about as deep and meaningful as I've been all year.
Right, so we're doing 3 short horror-ish films. I say ish because
They're all very ish.
They are very ish. The first of these films is called Ben, not to be confused with the feature film Ben, which is about a young lad who befriends a killer rat. This is a different one. This is So it's made in May 2021, 14th Hour Films, written and directed by Ethan Emmett. And the cast is Connor Fox and Layla Emmett. Now, apparently, this film was inspired by David Rayboy's The Giant from 2020, which is apparently a French/American mystery crime thriller that I've never heard of or seen.
No.
So that gave it a good start for a start off. There isn't a synopsis at all. It just is. So what do you think?
I don't know. The acting was okay. Like, the location was nice, but camera work seemed a bit, especially in the car, seemed a bit shaky. Sound was a bit distorted all over the place, and I don't know, it just seemed very odd in bits.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, it looked quite nice.
Yeah, it just
camera work was a bit shaky, but it was okay. And the acting was okay. It was a little bit stilted in places, but
yeah. But I think the ending, I don't know, just it was just all a bit confusing. I get the fact that obviously you want to leave a bit of mystery and a bit of sort of confusion about it, but it just, I don't know. I think with the lack of synopsis as well didn't help. But it's just the fact that it's just sort of, I don't know, it's just a bit odd.
Maybe if you'd watched The Giant, then you'd know a bit more.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. But I mean, I quite liked the fact that when they were in the car, they were doing the film in the car, there are bits where they do close-ups. Like, I mean, it's quite close anyway, but then they go a bit closer in, and it was quite good because it gave it a sort of a feeling of like being slightly odd and slightly claustrophobic, which I thought was quite good. But on the whole, I just thought it was a little bit of an odd film, and I just I've written down what and why.
Yeah, I'm saying it's just like I said, the camera work and don't get me wrong, the fact it says it's filmed on wherever it was filmed, I think it might be filmed on the phone
Yeah,
or something like that. But it's just it seemed to be missing something for me. Like you said, it might make a bit more sense if you watched the other feature-length film that it's based on.
yeah,
But I don't know, it just seemed very odd and seemed like it was missing something.
yeah. I mean, you know, it was okay in a lot of ways, but it just did seem it seemed a bit kind of like non. It was like sort of, I didn't quite get why or what we were supposed to be watching really, apart
Yeah,
from a bloke who was being a bit of a dick.
yeah. Say it's a very odd film and it's got a very odd ending to it.
Yeah, it has.
But it's just I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. It's funny really because it's like sort of so far we've been having this thing where we've had like weeks where we've had really good really good horror stories, and then when we've done the science fiction ones, they've been a bit non. And this fortnight, we've had a thing where the last lot of science fiction ones we did were quite good, and this one is just really a bit non. It's kind of like yeah, and
It's just yeah, it's not something I don't know, it's not something that I would it's horrible to say, but not something I would say to people you need to watch.
no, I mean, as we always say, go and watch it, and make your own minds up. But I really, it's just not enough to it to make it worth wanting to
No,
do to do
it's
anything.
yeah, don't be wrong. I'm not it's hard to explain. I'm not disappointed that I've watched it. It's has got good aspects to it. It's not one that I would not to be rushing out and telling people, "Oh, you need to watch this film."
Yeah,
It's
oh,
amazing.
I agree. I agree. Oh well, on to the second one. Now, this is a first for us in a lot of ways. I've been looking at some of these for quite a while, but I've got around to actually programming any of them for the podcast. So I thought I'd give it a go. So this is a film called Senorita, which is quite an odd title, really, because it's a Tamil film. It's a Tamil
Yeah,
short film from January 2021, Media 7 Productions, written and directed by Joshua Calvin. The edit, SFX, and sound were done by Lee Premier Studios. Director of photography, directors of the director of photography. There's two of them, Vicky and Solomon Balboa. Now the cast, there's only two of them that are actually named the actors' names. The rest of them have just got character names, which is a bit odd. But the main two are Navarasa Patarai and Maying Janu. Again, there's no synopsis or anything.
no,
So, what did you think? I thought, I'll tell you what I thought first of all. I thought the cinematography was quite good. The camera work was good, but a little bit shaky in a couple of places. Now, it's not in English.
no.
In
Well, I don't know about that. They're all the odd word.
Yeah, but then if you talk to people who are Asian people, Indian, Hindi, Gujarati, all those sort of things, there are words that they don't have in their language that they use the English word instead of having their own word for it. But it's not in English per se. There's no subtitles, which makes it a little bit difficult to work out exactly what's going on because of the language. But the main gist of the story is quite a well used one. It's quite a one, they move into this place that's haunted and they kind of try and it's done okay, and I liked the ending of it. I did feel that the film on the whole was a little bit too long. It's long, and it's there were a few bits I think I would have cut out. Like there's a bit where he kind of like falls asleep and he dreams flashbacks of what happened earlier on in the film, and you just kind of like, we've already seen that. Why do we need that?
Yeah. So the thing is as well, when it's the fact that this is another film where it's not really. There are bits of it that I suppose that are, but it's not really realistic. So the whole sort of, obviously the son sees something, the mum sees something, and then the dad sees something. And they're still there. They still stay, and it's just like, even after being attacked, it's sort of go, why are you still staying there?
Yeah. No, I agree. They do use a few odd things though. It's really weird. There's no real building of atmosphere.
No.
There's no feel of atmosphere in the film, but they use this really slightly annoying habit and thing of using screen blackouts to show the passing of time.
Yeah.
So you've got a scene and then it will go black screen and then it's the same scene again, but a few minutes later, and then screen and then a bit later. And it's kind of, it just becomes really annoying after a while. There's a few bits that I thought were funny, like when the wife faints. That's possibly one of the worst faints I've seen on TV. And some of the effects were a little bit ropey. When they call the guy in to kind of exercise the place or whatever, and he taps the he taps the demon or the spirit, whatever it is, on the head with a book, and it disappears. That is really quite bizarre and not great. I thought that when the demon's giving her story, explaining about herself and that, I thought it was very interesting, the use of like the cartoon element.
Yeah, it was very good a way of done. But I think as well the fact it's almost, from what I can gather about the story, mainly from that bit, it does almost seem like there's sort of a hidden message about the whole sort of drunk driving and sort of, I don't know, sort of something like that. But obviously there were bits of it. Even the cartoon gets a bit dark in places with the whole sort of cutting her up a bit. But I don't know. It just, I think it would have made a lot more sense, obviously, if you had even subtitles, or be it the fact if there's an option on YouTube to have them on there. But it's just the fact that it's a sort of, I think I miss something by not understanding what was being said.
Yeah.
But I did like it. I like the fact that the ghost tells its story. But again, the fact that when the priest is meant to be exercising, and the fact they all stand there and have a conversation.
Yeah.
It's just like, would you really though?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I will have to say that one of the things I found most annoying about this film had nothing to do with the film itself.
Okay.
As such, the thing I found most annoying about it was the fact that all the way through it, Navarasha Patarai's name is visible on the screen for some reason.
I did think it might disappear after a while, but it didn't. So
I don't know why that was there.
No.
And I'm hoping I've got it right, that that's the name of the actor. I don't know. I really don't know, because there's not enough information on the YouTube thing about it. But I mean, it's an interesting film. I definitely would like to see. I've been told a lot about the fact that Tamil films are very good, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad film.
No.
I'd like to watch some more with maybe with subtitles, so that I can have a bit more of an idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, it's an interesting story, and I mean, the end part of it, I wasn't quite expecting, because the end part of it is quite different in a
Yeah,
way, and it's not something I've seen before. I mean, obviously, you know, I've seen films where they find that there's a demon in the house and they try to help it or whatever. I've seen those, but not in that way.
yeah. It's very bizarre, the ending, and it's a very, like I said, it does get very dark in places.
Yeah,
Um, it's just, I don't know. It's the makeup as well that she had
yeah,
looked good. It's hard. It looked good when it was in the dark,
yeah.
but obviously when they had a bit more light on it to it, it was a bit looked a bit odd. But
Was
even
it
that, the fact that,
over white? I think.
yeah, but it was still good, the whole sort of technical aspect of it. But I don't
Yeah,
know. It's just, I think the fact that there wasn't subtitles, or it wasn't in English, or there wasn't that option to have it. It does. I do think this sort of missed something that's going on in the film.
yeah, yeah. It's a pity, but you know, I mean, hey, you know, you know, we do everything in English. We don't, and we expect people to just kind of understand it.
Yeah, I
So,
get that.
you know, yeah. Okay, so the third film is another uh, Asian film. This is a Hindi short horror film. I say horror in inverted commas. Um, it's called NH29. It's Suban Srivasta Productions, January 2021, written by Akash Deep Dubey. There you go. Directed and edited by Shuban Srivastava, and the director of photography was Prabhu Verma. The cast is Subham Srivastava, Archit Singh, and Akash Diep. Apparently, this is based around a real road where there are more accidents than normal for roads in that area.
Yeah.
Again, there's no real synopsis as such. So, what do you reckon?
I don't know. I think again, it was a bit hard to follow.
Yes.
What I do, I will say though, for the whole technical aspect, the whole lighting, the camera work, and the sound, the fact that it was filmed on a road, on the main road,
Yeah.
it actually explains on it the fact that it was filmed on a motorway or on a highway over there.
Yeah.
It was very well done. Like the fact that, yeah, it's got some sort of true aspect behind it with the whole accidents, stuff like that. It was a bit confusing for me in bits with the whole, like, he finds this phone and automatically starts playing Candy Crush on it.
I knew you were going to say that.
This is straight away. So I actually had to go back, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, maybe it's his phone. Maybe he threw it. And I
Yeah.
didn't. And I'm like, no, it just appears and he picks it up and he's straight away going, oh, what game is this? Play Candy Crush.
Yeah.
And I was
No.
like, okay. And also, it confused the life out of me why certain phone calls, and this is all in, again, obviously, all in Hindi or Indian or where it was in.
Yeah.
Why certain the ominous phone calls that he got, why they were in perfect English?
Yeah, I know. I was a bit confused by that. I mean, the main film itself is in Hindi, and there's no subtitles or anything like that. The sound was okay, apart from the fact that there were a few bits where it cuts in and out. I really liked the use of the lighting that there all is on the motorway. It wasn't any extra lighting; it was just used that. It was good. But yeah, why would you? And the other thing that got me was when you first see the phone that he finds. For some reason, there's kind of like a circle around it that's in kind of black and white, and I didn't quite get why that
Yeah,
was
it's
happening.
almost like it was pixelated,
Yeah,
sort of that sort of stuff. But it just, I don't know, it seemed weird, and the fact that, like, the ending, uh, it seemed very jumpy in the editing,
yeah, I didn't
and
quite.
it confused me a bit with that.
But
And
the thing is, I mean, it's I'm not sure I'd call it a horror film because nothing really horrific happens in it.
No,
Nothing,
I think it's more suggestive, isn't it? Like the sort of.
yeah.
Well, I'm guessing the fact it's more suggestive. Obviously, the whole conversations that they have is very hard. You can't follow, but it seems very suggestive. But
I
it
mean,
just
he gets a phone call on the phone that he finds, which, as you say, is in perfect English, and which says
is sleep with one eye open.
yeah, I'm coming to get you. But it's just I don't know. I just say I don't know if I'd call it a horror film because it just didn't strike me as being a horror film. It's
No,
kind of a little bit suspenseful in a couple of places, but
yeah, it's not even like you can say it sort of had horror aspect to it. Even with like where he feels like he's being followed. Which again, the
but it's,
fact that it shows the type of person that I am. When the guy and I looked at his, I was being a bit of a div when I watched it, which was this person made you feel like he's being followed. I'm like, well, technically in real life you were, but it's just sort of even when it's zoomed in his head, it's like it was stuff that was added that didn't really need to be there.
there's these strange noises and bits of talking going on
Yeah,
off to the side, and you kind of go, "What is that?" And it's never really explained as to what it is or why it's there or anything. So I don't know. It's just a bit weird. I- it's not good.
no, I think it could be used possibly there as more of a informational sort of a film to sort of bring awareness. But I don't know. I wouldn't class it really as a horror.
No,
I've got to admit though, I do love the quote at the end of the one that comes up on the screen, which is there are certain roads we must not take. I know because I come from there.
yeah,
But I did like that. But it's just
it's an interesting film, a little bit odd and quite well made, but I really don't know what it was.
yeah, I don't know. It's another one I think with the language differences probably missed out on something. But
I've probably managed to pick the only two films,
yeah,
the two Tamil and the Hindi films on there that don't have subtitles. So
probably. But this is the thing.
I can find some other ones.
It just seems like that might have taken away from it a little bit. But
Yeah,
other than that, I don't know. I wouldn't class it as a horror.
no, no, I wouldn't class this as a horror at all. In any way, it's very strange.
Mm.
But the weird thing about it is, although it's not a horror, it
Yeah,
seemed to do a better job of building the atmosphere and the suspense than the
yeah,
Tamil one,
yeah.
which is quite strange.
See, I don't know whether or not that was because of the fact, like you said, because of the whole way that the camera was used, or because of even sound effects. But
Yeah.
it seemed to have a lot more suspense to it than
But,
I don't know.
as I say, I mean, if you know what these films, more about what these films are about than us, let us know. Go and have a watch, make your own minds up, and tell us we're idiots or something.
Yeah,
We
just
can take.
join the queue of many people that have.
So that's kind of it for the films, really.
Old, I think.
And stuff like that. So next time, so yes, sorry, no, hang on. Yes, so that's Ben, Senorita, and NH29, which I will put links up for, as I always do,
Yes.
and all that kind of thing. Next time we will be doing science fiction again, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we're not up to the thingy yet, are we?
Hang on, let me have a look. So that one,
No,
yeah,
no.
because there'll be the one after that where we're doing the
Yes, next one will be science fiction, and then after that will be the Halloween
feature-length horror special.
The Halloween special, where we will watch two films. We will watch the two versions of Halloween and
Yes.
compare them, or well, something like that.
Try to compare compare them or rip them apart. We say about comparing film last time with different elements, and we ended up ripping it apart.
Yeah, but these two are really good films. So
say that now. I've heard you say that before about so many films, and
yeah,
then
but it's John Carpenter and Rob Zombie. They're not going to be rubbish.
very true.
You know. So yes, so we're going to do that, and then carry on doing the sci-fi and horror as per usual.
Yes.
Until the Christmas special.
Yes, the Christmas.
Christmas. Anyway, so yes. Thank you all for watching and listening, if you have been and do.
I don't know why you say I don't know. You say this every week. You say I don't know. I gave up. I gave up trying to understand you ages ago.
Thank you for being involved in the maelstrom of inadequacy that I am. And stuff. Thanks, Scott. Thanks.
So that was very abrupt. Then it proper threw me. It's like, thanks, Scott. That's okay.
Thanks and all that.
That's okay. I'm glad I can be of some service.
You see, I've always said it. I don't care what anybody else says. You're not totally useless.
No, I could be used as a bad example. So,
right. For those of you out there in big wide world of watching and listening, keep on doing what you're doing and get on down and write your funky stuff and all that sort of thing. And we will keep on trucking. Yeah. And we will endeavour to entertain you in some way, shape, or form next time.
Hopefully, we do wish that we do hope we're entertaining some people.
I'm sure we must be entertaining somebody somewhere. Even if it's only other people do the same sort of thing as us, looking at it, laughing, thinking, saying, God, they're rubbish. So until next time, we will be the Sciforror film for I've got to get some new teeth. We will be the Sciforror film podcast, and we will be in a cupboard until they let us out to do the next one. Thank you very much, and we will say goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. The Sciforror Film Podcast.